we go. Here 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 we go.
Welcome to the White Shirt Ministries.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But actually, I am Joe Ugly, and
I'm Shakiria.
and we are military veterans of the U.S. military. And we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform.
We gotta discuss our outfits before we do.
I don't.
our
If
recording.
we don't talk about it, people are gonna imagine someone turning on for the first time and just see us sitting there in
Because
white
some people
shirt.
will. Some podcasts do coordinate. The hosts they coordinate colors.
This was total accident.
We don't.
As the producer said, we look like a ministry, so which I think is better.
No.
Because White Shirt Ministries. Anyway, let's get it going. What do we got?
A few things have happened since the election. Trump won. So what does that mean? What does that look like going forward for the rest of us?
For the military.
Military,
And
for veterans.
Well, our soldiers are going to be deployed to Europe and other places anymore. Only place you're going to be deployed to now is the southern border.
Yeah. Damn sure in Cali and in Texas.
Do you know how expensive that would be? That would never. I can't see it working.
I can't see a lot of things working, but
how do you kick millions of people out of the country at once?
well, we'll find out, won't we? He said it's a day one thing, but here's what, from research, what they see coming up, right? So the proposed Trump agenda, especially for the military folk and the veteran folk, is this whole caught up on wokeness, right? He wants to rid the woke military policies, which includes
what is woke military policies?
I don't know.
Okay,
I couldn't tell you.
You know that's like I feel some kind of way. I mean, well, that's subjective. I mean,
the woke military policies is just flat out discrimination against people that look like me and you, black people, LGBTQ plus, women, just minorities, period, is this wokeness that they're talking about, allowing these type of people. And he had a big issue with transgenders being allowed in the military. He had stopped that during 2016.
We have to stop just letting words just get taken away from us. Woke.
Yeah.
Woke. What's wrong with being woke? Do you know where that came from?
I know it was obviously in the black community for a while. It was just about being like
Alert.
Alert about what's going on.
Well, here's
changed
the
it
origination of that. It came from Ledbetter, who was a black artist way back in 30s, 40s, 1930s, 1940s, who would end his song with "Stay woke," telling people there's sundown towns in Alabama.
Yep.
Don't fall asleep in your cars or whatever it is. Stay woke. Stay woke is a statement to let you know.
Yeah.
Be alert.
Yeah. And they have now taken that.
So I'm not giving up something that was originated so pure and so structured for my community.
Right.
Look, I recall the Green Book. I had an extended family member who used to go to the South every once in a while. Well, every summer, actually.
Yeah.
And I remember in the glove box had a Green Book. You know what a Green Book is?
Nope.
A Green Book is a place that would tell you the black hotels, when you go into the South,
Yeah.
all the black restaurants, the black stops that you can make. A Green Book.
That's crazy.
Okay, you want to take away the woke? Stay green.
And sundown towns still exist. By
Exactly.
the way, so
Stay
hopefully
green, folks.
They'll take that one too. For the military
US Army
members
green.
that are still active, that means potential officers that disagree with this agenda. It means they plan to possibly get rid of you if you don't follow the loyalty train. For the military members who have undocumented, family members, you might be deporting your own people. You might have to be dragging them across the border and like the new border czar, what do they call them?
Czar.
The border czar said, they'll deport you too.
That's right. That's
You don't want to be separated. Well, Go ahead, go right with them.
What Shakira is talking about is the border czar said what is known the term anchor babies, which is effed up if you ask me, which is where a parent have a kid here in the U.S. That kid is an automatic U.S. citizen. His approach is, well, you were born by not undocumented person, illegal. That's the term that's put. Now, I'm hearing a lot of, oh, we're going to go after the criminals. But that's highly subjective.
Of course.
Because what do you define as criminal? Because if you're here undocumented, you're committing a crime.
Exactly.
So when you try to sell that we're going after the criminals and don't say, oh, we're going after serious offenders, then that's a different story. Now, people hear criminals and think that's what it's meant. But if you don't pay attention to it,
which they don't,
all of a sudden you're going to be deploying your own family members.
Deporting.
Deporting. You're going to be deporting your own family members back to whatever country it is.
It might not even be from Mexico. Girl, you could probably be from Puerto Rico and they deport you back down there. Because the plan is...
My thing to all my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, make sure you speak with your Puerto Rican accent. Because no, I'm dead serious, because you don't want to sound like you from one of the
But when
the
it
places.
comes down to that man,
you
he
can't
doesn't
deport
care.
Puerto Ricans because they're Americans.
But he just hear an accent. Do you think they care? They just hear, that's not English, and it's done.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio out there in Arizona used to have the paper please rule. I think that had to be, they had to turn that, to roll that back.
What is it?
The paper please. That was a paper please law.
What is that?
Prove you're American.
Oh.
You know, prove that you're American. So here it is. It's like I used to tell my ex who used to catch a tan, and I was, you gotta be careful in Arizona, because you know I love hanging out in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be careful in Arizona with my accent and your tan. We're gonna end up back down in Mexico. We don't even know nobody in Mexico. I ain't even from Mexico. What is wrong?
It's not funny, but I mean,
But it is.
It is.
I said, you better walk with your U.S. passport. You never know. Paper, please. And we're, next thing we're in El Salvador. What the heck?
Yeah. Just, we don't know if that's actually going to take place. We don't know what's going to come in a couple months. But that is his plan. I feel right to, make you people aware of the possibility of deporting your own family. Because I can't think of anything more disgusting and sad than having to do that, if that comes to play.
It's crazy, though, and I have to highlight this. I've heard Latinos here in Connecticut who have a problem with undocumented.
A lot of them do. That's why they voted for him.
Right, and they want them to go back because they are taking their jobs in restaurants, factories, agriculture,
everywhere,
construction. They see their jobs being taken away.
Yeah.
And so they're against undocumented immigrants being here. I'm talking Latinos from those Central and South American countries. But now you raise a very interesting point. What about those in the military? If you had that attitude, and you're in the military, and you look over and you see your cousin, it could be your cousin, who you didn't think of, but what do you go? How do you deal with it? How do you possibly let your veins run with ice cold and just say, sorry, Hector, you gotta go?
Well, I mean, the consensus is, based on what I've seen and people interviewed, the people who were even once undocumented or have undocumented families voted for that. So
I recently saw an interview on CBS 60
What do you
Minutes.
want us to say here? You chose, and I could get the argument of a lot of people didn't know what they voted for. Well, now you do, and we'll see how it plays out.
It's
you got to evaluate your choices properly.
I always say, I don't care if I get the short end of the stick on it. I'll never hate on a good plan. Republicans are great campaigners, terrible governors.
Horrible anything,
Democrats
but yeah,
are terrible campaigners.
they know how to market, especially
Great
Trump.
governors.
Yes, great.
The best policies that we've
Came
seen
from a
in the-
Democratic government. I mean, you can't
the
tell me
best-
one good one that came from the opposite side.
Well,
so.
I could point a few, but the best policies
come from.
okay, policies that were across the board
Yeah.
for everyone,
Yeah,
policies and laws
right.
came from the Democratic in the last 50 years in this country came from the Democratic Party. I don't want to get too far into
No,
politics.
but you know, you're right. Yeah, but another thing he wanted to do with his woke agenda, or whatever, is to rename. So you know, they were doing
the military
the
bases.
bases, right? Fort
One of-
Bragg to Fort Liberty. He wants to bring back all those conservative
Confederate
Confederate
generals.
So
Do you know why it were Confederate generals in the first place?
they're in the South.
Well, those bases were named after those Confederate generals was to get the South to go along with the whole freeing the slaves
Oh, yeah.
and getting the military down there. It was all connected into that. So those bases were then named after. And, you know, I used to say, you know, I'm a hood brother, you know, from Fort Hood. As a matter of fact, when I first met my sister's pastor, you know,
Yeah.
we call ourselves Hood Brothers because we were both stationed in Fort Hood at the same
Yeah.
time. So it's like, but I never knew Hood was a Confederate general,
Yep. Most
which
of them are.
right away now it's renamed.
What is it called now? Because people still say Fort Hood.
It's named after
Is it named
a,
after
a
the girl?
Latino, no, a Latino general, you know, male Latino general.
Okay.
Fort Alvarez or something. I don't know.
Either way.
Look up your orders. It's on your order.
If you're in there, I used to walk around with my orders on my phone, especially for my hair and my features as a black person.
For your hair? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, because women can't have their hair
certain
hanging
things,
down.
yeah, and I would just.
That's
be like,
women across the board.
Yeah, women across the board,
You
but
have to have it pinned up,
especially,
right?
yeah, it's like the size of your bun, the size of your bob.
Right.
You just had. It was just a good tool because as soon as someone said it, if you knew it, because usually they don't really know it. They just that looks wrong, or they just want to fuck with you. So if you like, no, it's exactly this, then they be like, all right, whatever.
When I was in the Army, guys used to go through pretty much the same scrutiny
Yeah.
because
They
if
have
your
no women
hair
to
is
mess
too
with.
long,
Right. Yeah. They still mess with the men as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And
So
then you're supposed to get haircuts every week and stuff.
across the board with the garbage.
Pretty much. So just men or women, walk with an order. Know your basic orders because that will get you out of a lot of stupid situations.
It sure will.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's roll into formation. All right.
Formation. Fall in.
All right. So the VA proposes to eliminate copay for telehealth. I didn't even know they paid. You could
I
charge
saw
for
that.
telehealth. I'm like, what the hell?
I saw that and I was, what's telehealth? Is that like for is that for telebabies or something? I don't know.
I knew what telehealth was, but I
Teletubbies?
was like, you're paying me to tell me information through my computer screen that you didn't even pay for? I have to pay you? That doesn't make any sense.
Wait a
But they're
minute.
getting rid of it.
What is it? What is
So
telehealth?
telehealth is where you would see your provider over your computer, Zoom, whatever meeting, you know?
Oh, so now they want them all in person?
No. So they're you used to have to pay for it.
Oh,
So now, hear me out, they propose to eliminate co-payment for all VA telehealth service and establish a grant program to fund VA telehealth access points.
wait a
and
minute.
VA
Pause.
What's
So
up?
you mean if I spoke with my therapist on via the telehealth right now, I would have been charged?
If you are in that bracket for people who have to pay co-pays, yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's veterans who have to pay
Pay
co-pays,
co-pays,
so
that's
that
right.
falls into the realm of it. If you make too much money, if you don't
Yeah.
have the right percentage in disability benefits, that's usually who pay. I don't think it's anything crazy, but still, pay amount of money any days is paying.
Really? Are you kidding me?
So they're planning on doing that, and the reason they want to do it is because they want to provide more access to people, especially in rural areas where there's no VA.
Right.
So it's like now they want to pay. It's called local area stations or Atlas. You know, they love a good. acronym. So it would provide funding to organizations like nonprofits and other private businesses.
Nonprofits.
I know. I thought about it too, but we'll get there. To offer veteran comfortable private spaces with high-speed internet technology. So if you own a nonprofit business and you have some spaces free up for, veterans to come in and have private with internet, the VA will fund you to provide that to them if, whatever reason they can't do it at home or the internet's better there. So that's the whole premise. That way, people in majority rural areas have more access. They don't have to drive 3 hours or 2 hours or wait for an appointment. Right. Granted, especially for the mental health part, right? You have no reason to say I can't get a mental appointment because we could do it over the computer.
Mental health is such a big issue.
It is.
And especially
it's
in
getting
the veterans.
worse.
Yep. And for veterans, I think it's always been bad.
Yeah.
I think we are finally starting to pay attention
and
to
acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
We're
That's
finally
really what
starting
it
to
is.
acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of men and women who wore the uniform who are walking around with serious mental issues that they didn't trigger in the first place.
Right.
Okay? Mental health is a serious, serious thing. And to my brothers and sisters, especially from my community, I know we're used to old Uncle Gus being upstairs in the back room on the 3rd floor. I get that. I know that's been drilled in us. But now that we don't have those family homes, where's Uncle Gus?
Just walking around the street.
Walking around the street. Back in the day, you had the family home.
Yeah. Hide him in the attic.
Yeah, you hide him up in the attic.
No,
we laugh, but
that's what they used to do.
Put him up in the attic on the third,
I
third
think
floor.
There's a little Uncle Gus in everybody that served the military. 'Cause
Everyone.
You got some type of. The military is harsh, okay? Let's not hide that, whether you're a man or woman, whatever. Whatever you think you don't have, or it's this woke stuff, whatever. That's what you think, but you're pounding beers.
No.
That's the problem.
Here's the problem. If you were woke, you would have known you have a problem. Wake the fuck up!
Yep, that's fair. I love that. I'm gonna leave it. And on that note, to access these telehealth situation, the Atlas movement. If you're a business that are looking to help veterans, you're a nonprofit, this is a great program that you can apply for that the VA can pay you if you are able to offer spaces to veterans. So we'll have all that stuff linked below and just check that out and see how it goes.
What she said.
Our hot topic for today is, who is Doug Collins, right? He is the new selected VA secretary.
Oh, I thought I was Phil Collins' brother. I was going to say, I can feel it coming in the air.
Well, let's not say that too quickly. We might get something we don't want.
No, I can feel it coming.
All right, so who is, I mean, as veterans,
Who
right,
is
our secretary is important. You should know
Right.
that because those are the guys making decisions. Right now, we have a pretty good secretary because he's the one that came up with Atlas and he's worked with all the other things that we have right now. So here's Doug Collins. He's a colonel in the Air Force. He's a chaplain who believes that the VA is broken and our veterans paid a price. Hold on. His voting record in Congress is praised by conservative advocacy groups, including opposing abortion. He's also argued against LGBTQ rights, and he wants a constitutional amendment that defined marriage as between one man and one woman. However, there is some decency. He did vote in favor of a major veterans bill, like the Choice Act, the Mission Act, and a few others. But he was also the 4th member of Trump's impeachment defense team to get a cabinet position. Let's discuss that.
Wow. How do we unpack that? How do we unpack that? Look, you know what?
What do you do?
People do things for a reason, always looking for the angle. He did a job. He's getting paid now. I don't know what to say here.
I mean,
How do we
I don't
unpack
know.
that? I mean, it's
Air's
like
good, and he did vote for some veteran stuff. He's very conservative, so that could affect, the gay people in our military, black people, and the women in our military. So that's to wonder about.
But he's a veteran, though.
He's still serving. He's a reserve chaplain.
No, but he's a reserve chaplain, but
Yeah.
he's now looking to be head of the VA. So his actions is going to affect more veterans than actually enlisted.
Yes.
So enlistee officers. So looking at it from a veteran standpoint, okay, I mean, we always want to know that the person's background, if they have, their temperament, how do they view things?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
also very important.
You want to know these things. How do they respond to things? And, in all these positions, in my humble opinion, I have not seen any true leadership yet. I've seen people in leadership positions being pushed for,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen any of these individuals showing true leadership. Now, there are some who say, Marco Rubio being Secretary of State, but after being called names and all of that, and
Dogged out, your
and
people dogged out.
after you've been all of that, and then to still run along with that,
Right.
that does not show me leadership.
Does not.
Okay, I don't see true leadership there.
Wasn't he running the election at one point?
Yeah, it's 2016. He was running against him. That's when he got the nickname Little Marco. So, and Trump give everyone a nickname.
He does. He definitely does.
He got rid of
What was his one for DeSantis that shut his ass up?
I can't recall, but I do know it hurt him so bad. It hurt him. All of Trump nicknames never go off.
No.
They stick like glue to people.
Yeah. And it's always the people that are kissing up to him that he does it to.
And lack of leadership. I mean, it becomes, where do you stand with that? I mean, I don't know. We're in a space right now that, well, we're woke. No, we're in a space we're in a very interesting space right now. I don't know
Extremely.
exactly how this thing is going to play out. I hope at the end of the day, as long as our country stay together, our country is not broken so bad that we can't have it back. I hope our military stay together, and I hope our veterans support don't get decreased, but increase.
Right.
And especially in the areas that we have highlighted, mental health.
I hope all those things too. And obviously we don't know what's to come forth, right? We just know that he's selected right now. He has voted for stuff as he is an officer himself. So I would think some of that comes into play. But
I think he was a congressman also.
yeah, that's where
yeah,
he was
okay,
voting. But he
right.
was still, you could be reserved.
Right.
So yeah,
exactly.
that's why he was voting. He was never a part of the Veterans Committee physically, but he did vote in favor of stuff. He voted some good, some bad. So we don't know where that's going to play out. I think veterans, we take a lot of this stuff for granted, and there's so many benefits that I actually want to bring up throughout the show that we go through that you guys don't even know you have, and it's so quick. It's easy to be taken away. As soon as they're there, they could be taken away.
We have learned, if there's anything we have learned in the last 4 years, is that we're in a pattern now of losing rights.
Yeah.
Women rights, voting rights. The list and the list is going to keep growing.
Yeah.
We are losing rights. So that word freedom, all the freedoms that we thought we had, is really playing out now as free for being dumb to believe that it was there in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's well said. Yep.
yeah. So we're in that space right now. We are losing rights. I've never seen it like this before. I've always seen us as a growing and evolving country.
Getting better. And it may be slow, but it's growing.
Very slow, but we were evolving. You know?
And this next 4 years, we'll see if we just go back, stay steady. We'll see. I do know that there's people out there willing to fight for these veteran benefits that we have. There's a whole committee dedicated to it, filled with civilians and veterans that understand the importance of having a VA, having all of these services that we have, and the more to come. We get the complaints all the time, but we have a lot compared to others, and we have to be grateful for them. But I do want people to remember that we stayed quiet, or a lot of veterans, especially the older veterans, don't feel the need to speak up about certain things, especially regarding the VA. This is now your time, because if you just stay idly by, like, oh, they're going to do it anyways, then they're going to just take it.
That's one term that just pisses me off.
What?
It just annoyed the hell out. Oh, my vote don't count.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to do that anyway. Oh, those type of statements just rub me so wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, let me know what you want. Now I know what you want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Some new Nike shoes, Nike running shoes, so you could keep running from the issues.
They want
Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly. Give them some running shoes. All right, good people, let me let you guys know it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys here, as always, as we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing that U.S. military uniform. Joe Ugly here.
Shakaria here.
And let them know what to do.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
We salute. See you next week.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Here we go! 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 Here we go!